Hey y'all, I am Chastity Bowers, and this is my bestie,
Ebony Liggins, and we are coming to you from our Unapologetically Me in Christ podcast.
Yes, ladies, in this podcast, we are covering all things dealing with life and faith. That includes relationships, hardships, motherhood, and mental health.
Yes, ma'am, and we are coming naked and unashamed before God, laying it all out.
So, sis, I need you to turn up your volume because we are about to start now. Hey y'all, I am Chastity Bowers, and this is my bestie,
Ebony Liggins, and we are coming to you from our new podcast, Unapologetically Me in Christ.
Podcast.
I said from our new podcast, girl.
Oh, okay. Anywho, we are coming to y'all basically from an extended version of our Boss Up Your Faith community. So some of you ladies already be familiar with us because you are a part of our Boss Up Your Faith family. So in this community, y'all who are not familiar, we basically come together 3 days a week for prayer in the morning to start off our day. The community is growing, and we don't just come and pray, but we come to be transparent, open. We talk about everything under the sun that we may have been going through. Some of the women come with prayer requests, and try to share some of their stories as well. So it's just women, Black women, coming together to support each other through prayer to start off our days. And when I say that it is so beautiful, it really do refresh and revive us, and it's just a beautiful thing. And we are just so blessed for our community. So now we got a podcast, so we can so we can reach out to more women and share what we got going on. So I wanted this first episode. I was telling Ebony, I think that we need to introduce ourselves for the people that do not know us, who we are, and what this podcast is going to be about, and kind of do the then versus now thing that's on social media, where people show a picture of them some years ago, where you like, ew, and then you see a picture of them looking good. Now you like, ooh, So we're going to kind of do this then versus now thing, who we were then versus who we are now in God, and kind of give y'all the D's and fill y'all into the blanks. What social media does not do is share their journey on how they got to the now. So we're going to share our journey with you, with who we were then in God versus who we are now in God. And so you guys can learn a little bit more about us. But again, y'all should have heard in the intro, Boss Up Your Faith Community podcast, Unapologetically Me in Christ. It's going to be talking about life and faith. Yes, again, my name is Chastity Bowers, and I am a wife, mother, and mental health therapist that give women the tools they need to show them how to boss up their faith. Besides being a mental health therapist, I am also the founder of the faith-based community called Boss Up Your Faith. In this community, I'm able to bring faith and therapy together hand in hand by showing women and bring awareness to how their level of faith can influence their overall mental health. All right, Ebony.
What's up, girl?
You ready?
What's up, girl?
We want to be in your business. Like, who are you? Who is Ebony Liggins? Is that your government name? What's
girl? Up? Yes, that's my government name. So, what's up, ladies and gents? If you are tuning in, my name is Ebony Liggins. I am a wife, a mother of 3, and a serial entrepreneur. Along with being all of those, wearing all those jackets, I still find time to balance my 9 to 5. Throughout my everyday life, so I consider myself one of God's gangster girl disciples. And that's who I am, I'm just me.
Okay, let's get on this gangster disciples thing. Okay, first off, if you haven't already could tell, we are from the South. Mississippi,
right.
That is,
Right. So
we're
gonna
country. We're gonna out with that country twang, honey. So we don't need you emailing us talking about we pronounce or pronunciate, okay? Because we coming to y'all hot, open, and transparent. Y'all gonna
Transparent.
get all of this country lingo on this podcast. Okay? But Evan and I we have been best friends since high school, y'all.
Since 10th grade. 10th grade.
I've been
It's 10th
telling.
grade. That's a long time to put up
It
with
is a long
somebody.
time. But if you just really want to know when we met each other, even though Evan don't remember.
Nah, I don't remember that.
I've been telling Evan, I've been knowing her since she was like in 5th grade because we were on the playground together and I was just minding my own business, playing with my little cousin, and I'm hearing this loud girl coming on the playground with her hand on her hip, talking to one of the other kids, telling them what happened in school. I'm like, who is this girl? She ghetto. Like, who is this? Lo and behold, God was giving me a glimpse like this gonna be your sister right here. And
Girl, do not remember
4 or
that.
5 years later, we met in high school. But back to this gangster disciple, because I'm intrigued. What
Yes,
was your
ma'am.
then versus now journey, honey, with God that you say you wanted his
I'm
gangster disciples?
one of his gangster girl disciples. So I just feel like I say that because I have been through so much. I feel like I just got it out the mud. Like, I done been through the struggle, I done been through domestic violence relationships. I done been through it all. And I feel like I consider myself as God's gangster girl disciples because if you read the Bible, you know that God's disciples were not perfect and that he had people running with him that were prostitutes. He had people running with him that were thieves. He had people running with him that was doing any and everything. And so I feel like because my life still not perfect, but because my life was not perfect and I have been able to get it right with him, that, a disciple for God. I'm one of his gangster girl disciples. I can really tell people, how far he's brought me, how far he's, brought me out of the things that I've been through. And so that's why I say I'm a gangster girl disciple.
Okay.
And I'm still myself, even with me having a relationship with him now, like I still can still be myself, you know what I'm saying? But just take away some of those, cleaning up some of those little baby hairs on your lace fronts that y'all be wearing, still
cleaning
it up a little bit. Mm-hmm.
So I like that. So with that being said, what kind of gave you your aha moment with cleaning yourself up in God? Like, what made you see him differently? Like, he gonna sell me no matter what? Because you didn't start off having this type of attitude.
I mean, no, ma'am. I wouldn't even. When I was in my mess, going through my mess, God wasn't even on the top of my dome. You know what I'm saying? I'm just moving through life, But I would say 2017, when me and you started getting on the phone in the mornings talking about how life be lifing and just having girl talk before we go to work. And we just one day said, we finna pray. And you was praying because I wasn't about that life. So,
and it was a process.
Right. And so we would get on.
Ask us all the time, like, oh my God, how do y'all be praying like that? How do I start praying? Like, I don't know how to pray to God, but it's just a conversation.
Exactly.
If you know how to talk, you know how to pray.
Exactly. And so we eventually formed the prayer group. You was like, I'm gonna get a group of ladies. We're gonna get on every morning. We was doing it Monday through Friday.
Not even getting a group of ladies. We were just like, who, girl? Like,
who need prayer?
We like, girl, it's more women needs to be getting this in the
morning
time.
Like,
this is exactly. Good. Like, yeah, we both was feeling better about our day. Our conversations were changing versus how they were before we started praying in the morning, how we started looking at our situations. And so we were just buying like close other friend girls to come on in the morning with us, and we kind of grew from that. But the connection that I love there is community. How you talk about Jesus and his disciples in community, and how we basically did discipleship by bringing other women in
Women
into our
on.
own community, because
Mm-hmm.
our motto is like, we don't focus on relationship. We're not trying to, change people beliefs and all of that about, or
Mm-hmm.
do this whole
You got to do
first
this. You got to do that.
Sunday, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we're all white on prayers on Friday. No, it's just about gaining a relationship with him. We just out here trying to boss up our faith and love on God and grow in him and have a relationship. We about relationships, not relationships.
Exactly. And I would just say, even then, though, like, I still wasn't thinking, like, I wasn't all in tune with it, you know.
Hmm.
Okay, we getting out every morning, we praying. And then even when you started the group, when, a few ladies would get on that we knew and we would
Hmm.
pray, I still wasn't in tune with God like that, because I didn't have confidence in praying. You would ask me to
Hmm.
pray and I'd be running from prayer, child. Let me tell you. You be texting me, I'd be like, I ain't see that. I'm still asleep. So I wasn't, it wasn't a snap of a finger. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I'm in tune
Hmm.
with him. It wasn't
Hmm.
that. I would say maybe like a year later,
Hmm.
2018, like, and the more you like pressured me to pray, well, I'm not
Hmm.
even gonna say pressure, but the more you ask me to pray,
Yeah.
the more I pray, the more comfortable I got with praying.
Yeah.
And like I said, in relationship, watching you grow in your relationship with him, baby, you found him long before I did. You got closer to God long before I did. And even with that, like,
Yeah.
you never, like, our friendship never changed, but you never called me with like, girl, you need to get closer to God. Girl,
Yeah.
this, and the other. I'm
You
going to church.
shacking
Da, da,
up?
da, da. Huh?
You shacking up, girl?
Right,
Tell me
right.
about
You
your life.
right.
No.
You never did that. But
Mm.
because I knew you, knew where you came from, knew how we used to look if you book,
We
knew
still do.
everything, know you as a person, an individual, and see the relationship and how much you've grown in Christ, then
Hmm.
I'm like, oh, okay.
And then it goes back into physical relationship, like when you dating somebody. When you first date
Mm-hmm,
somebody, you ain't just all in love with them and head
mm-hmm,
over heels about them. But as you continue to learn more about them, continue to
mm-hmm,
spend more time with them, continue to communicate more with them, you start to fall in love with them. You
mm-hmm,
starting to trust them. You
mm-hmm,
starting to seek them more
mm-hmm,
and lean on them more when you're going through things. And even when you're not, you just want to share even good things with them and show gratitude, but that comes over time.
over time. Because even when you start, say, okay, I'm gonna have a relationship with God. And even not just that, just getting on every morning praying, like, it's not gonna be a snap of a finger and God just gonna change
Right.
your life situation or whatever it is that you're going
Mm-hmm.
through. It's not gonna just be a snap of a finger, but in time, in due time, as you be consistent, as you continue to grow, the years go on, you look back. I always do reflect. I reflect on where I
Mm-hmm.
was and where I've been. And as you look back, you be like, wow, God really been showing up for me.
Mm-hmm.
God really been, he been
Mm-hmm.
coming through for me.
Right.
Well, I've really been changed. I don't pop
Mm-hmm.
off like I used to. I
Right.
don't, that's none of my business. I'm not even gonna say nothing. You just starting to
Mm-hmm.
move differently.
And it's not like a on and off switch. Like, oh, I don't react no more. I don't the way I
Mm,
used to. I don't,
mm-mm,
turn up on people the way I used to. I don't respond the way I
mm-mm,
used. But it's like I could still do that. But for
mm-hmm,
some reason, I pause for a second
mm-hmm,
and able to breathe and not just quick reaction. But
mm-hmm,
God is not giving me wisdom because one of the scriptures said, be slow to
mm-hmm.
anger,
To anger. Mm-hmm,
quick to listen,
mm-hmm,
slow to speak.
mm-hmm,
So now I'm trying to implement that in my life, and now I'm able to like think before I react and respond. Because usually I don't, like you said, he wanted the top of my dome, but now I'm starting to ease him on the top of my dome.
mm-hmm,
Now I'm starting to think differently and react.
mm-hmm,
It's not like,
mm-hmm.
ooh, you find Jesus, girl, just turn your whole life around.
Mm-hmm.
No, baby, it's a
Mm-mm.
process,
Mm-mm. Because, being a young mother, I've been a mother for
girl.
11 years, my biological son. And, being a young mama, baby, I used to cuss at Kai, sit your
Mm-hmm.
ASS down, all that.
Mm-hmm.
But now, like, I catch myself. I don't even say it. And a lot of times, even now, I be like, "How you about to make me cuss at you?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're doing
Mm-hmm.
too much. I'm trying to be a better mother."
Yeah, that made me go
But you
back to
about
high
to
girl.
make
Come
me
on, mom on you.
exactly. But you about to make me curse at you. So, all of those things start to
Yeah,
come into play
yeah.
in
Cause
due
we were
time.
young, we were mothers more than we were wives.
Hmm.
You're coming up on your second year of marriage. I'm
Right.
coming up on my third year of marriage, but I've been a mom for 15 years.
Right.
you know. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm dealing with blended family. Like I'm my husband has an 8 year old,
Mm-hmm.
and we have a 2 year old together, and I have my 15 year old son. So it's like I'm still trying to grow and be his mom
Mm-hmm.
while trying to manage being this toddler mom, which is I
Mm-hmm.
think it's a better version of myself due to experience. But I'm trying to be this stepmom and know my boundaries in that because being a biological mom
Mm-hmm.
and a stepmom is two different type
Two
of
different
moms.
things. And then
Two
you got to
different.
look at it is that you got different age groups.
Mhm. Mhm.
You got a teenager,
Mhm.
you got an 8-year-old that's in that
Mhm.
in between stage, and you got this
Mhm.
Tyler. So
Mhm.
all three of those children are in different directions that you
And they
happen to.
get different versions. We mother and love on them differently because you have a teenage
Mm,
stepdaughter,
mm-hmm.
and she's about to enter adulthood, young
Right.
adulthood. So just like how God love on us in different processes of our lives, that's how He love on us. Just like we
Mm-hmm.
love on our kids. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm the way I love and mother on Chloe, the 2 year old, it's not the same way I'm gonna love and mother on Dylan, my
Mm-hmm.
15 year old.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a process. And the
Mm-hmm.
way I used to love on Dylan and mother on him has evolved and grown, and it looks different. And that's the same process with the then versus now in us who we are in God. It
Mm-hmm.
evolves, it changes.
Because
We
you're
still
more
evolve.
wiser.
Yeah.
Feel like you're more
Because I
wiser.
dealt with a lot of insecurities because I was a teenage mom,
Mm-hmm.
not feeling
Mm-hmm.
like I, I was going through a lot then, going through depression. Didn't know I was going through depression, but I was going through depression, and thank God for therapy that I started to like really put a name and able to label the things I was going through. But I was going through depression as a teenager, and it really hit me hard when I became pregnant because I was having thoughts to harm myself while I was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
I was having thoughts about should I even keep this child? What do
Mm-hmm.
I need to do? Because I felt like I was disappointing my parents. I felt like I was losing connections to friends. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
I was disappointing God. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
I disappointed my church family walking in the church pregnant. I still feel some type of way. But why did I have to feel that way? I should have felt love going to a church
Mm-hmm.
with this baby inside of me, despite of being
Mm-hmm.
a teenager and pregnant.
Mm-hmm. But that's what I always say, like going back on growing up in the church. A lot of us probably have grew up in church. I grew up in church, going to church with my mom, getting baptized, then 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, on the way up, going to church with my auntie and my cousins, and we went to Bible school, vacation school, whatever it was, we was doing it in the church. But even during that time, you're going to church, you listening to the preacher, and I still feel like you don't have that relationship with him.
Right, that connection.
So that's why you felt like I'm going to church, but you still felt ashamed and,
'Cause I
you
felt
know,
ashamed before God
God,
too.
yes, right,
Mhm.
right. You felt ashamed. You felt that, you know, people was talking about you. You've had all of these thoughts because you didn't have really relationship when you didn't know anything about relationship. I feel like
Mm-mm.
you don't,
No.
mm-mm,
No,
mm-mm,
I did not.
you
That's
didn't
how,
know.
due to me not knowing, that's how I end up in the situation even being pregnant.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you don't know anything about that until you
Hmm.
grow. The older you
Exactly.
get, you know what I'm saying? All the thing you're going off of is
Not
what
even the older you get, honey, because there's some old fools out here.
it is, but until you mature, change your
Yeah,
mindset,
yeah.
and you just go off of what you're being taught, what's being said, and that's it.
Hmm. And
What you being
so,
taught and what's being said.
and with
Everything
community,
is a
I
sin.
didn't, I didn't feel community. Yeah, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
feel the community because I didn't feel it at home. Because I feel like I was
Mm-hmm.
disappointing my parents. I didn't feel it even with my friends. Because
Mm-hmm.
you bring up the situation
Girl, you
where
was
you
so
said
mean, child. Yeah, she threw shoes at me through her car to my car.
we haven't been friends since high school. Okay,
I
since
was like,
fifth grade.
what's wrong with her? Girl, it is snowing again outside.
Oh, child, I'm glad I'm in Georgia.
Girl, what is going on? Babe, I'm trying to be outside.
Not outside and pregnant.
Yes, ma'am. It is
Really is
snowing
pregnant.
again.
But I was feeling angry because I was feeling sad. And depression, the root of depression is anger. On the outside, it may look like sadness or whatever, but you most definitely be angry. So I was dealing with a lot of anger issues because I just felt like I said, I just feel like everybody was talking about me. Everybody disappointed in me. I ain't had
Mm-hmm.
nobody. I felt alone during that time. I'm like, oh my God, I'm a child about to have a child. I'm supposed to be getting ready to turn up freedom. I'm finally
Mm-hmm.
graduating out of high school. And I got this whole new responsibility ahead of me, and I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
how to handle it because I did not have, at that time, I felt like I didn't have the community or support.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a lot for me.
Mm-hmm. So you decided to throw shoes at me.
It was
Okay.
a release. I was releasing.
I'm like, okay, she's still my friend, but she just threw these shoes through this.
That
Okay.
was then versus now. Because now you say I ignore you when I'm getting upset. But it's just how
Mm-hmm.
I deal with stuff. I just be
Mm-hmm.
like, oh my God. But I guess it just all me feel like being on the phone and technology, but I'd rather have somebody with me.
That's another story for another day. Girl, we're gonna get to arguing on this podcast.
Hot open transfer.
That's another story for another day. Okay, sis.
Oh my goodness. But we have most definitely grown. I think we both still growing in God. And I just love our Boss Up
Mhm.
Your Faith community because we also get to see the transformation of other women as well. Because
Exactly.
women start off praying, requesting God, I need y'all to help me pray that I get this business, I get this nonprofit off the ground. And fast forward, now they're praying, I pray that this event go well for
Oh,
my
well,
nonprofit. I pray that this
exactly.
this thing that what I'm doing for my business goes well because they actually doing it. And to even see that involvement is
Mhm.
beautiful. So
Mhm.
our community is just dope. Jesus is
Mhm.
dope. I love, like you said, I love like he went to the streets because he
Mhm.
tried to go to the church.
Mhm.
They weren't ready for all these changes he was trying to do because Jesus was radical. He
Mhm.
was beyond what they was ready for. So he went to the streets and the
Mhm.
streets was ready.
The streets was ready.
The streets was ready, baby. And so I
They was
love
ready to
that.
walk with him.
Okay. And I love that that's where he engaged community because he didn't have to have community. Jesus didn't need the
Mm-mm. He
disciples,
didn't need nobody.
He didn't
Mhm.
need nobody, needs nobody.
Right. He didn't
Okay.
need nobody.
Jesus didn't need nobody.
Mhm.
But he was just showing us how important it is to have community.
Mhm. And
He didn't
God
show us
sent
what
blessings. He sent blessings and answers prayers through people.
through people. Yes. I remember you saying
Mhm.
that on a prayer line. Like a lot of our prayers get answered through people. But if we keep on counseling people out, isolating ourselves, withdrawing
Mhm.
ourselves, feeling like me, myself, and I don't need nobody, how
Mhm.
you gonna get these prayers?
Mhm. Or being ashamed, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I can't expect everybody to think like me, but girl, stop being ashamed.
Yes. Feel like you gotta
Because
hide.
somebody might be going through the same exact thing that you're going
Mhm.
through, and they can receive healing through that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Or somebody can be going through the same thing that you have went through,
What's
and
your
they
word?
can
I mean, your
receive
phrase?
healing through that, naked and
Naked
unashamed.
and
Like I
unashamed.
am not ashamed about nothing. I, I'm fragile with what I speak on or what I talk about, but I'm an open book.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an open book from y'all. I'm telling y'all. Just keep on, you
Keep
know what I'm
on
saying?
listening.
Just keep on listening.
Keep on listening.
Keep on listening. I do not look like what I've been through.
Then versus now, baby.
And
Then
me and
versus
my husband be having conversations. He be like, "You went through that? You did that?" He be like, "Golly."
God can use you, baby. God can use
You know what I'm
you.
saying? So don't never get it twisted about how somebody look
Versus where they are now. 'Cause you
versus
don't
where they
know.
are now. Exactly. You do not know where they been or what they been through.
Right. And that's the truth. It's 100. Because community is important. I love being a mom. I love being a wife. But I
Mm-hmm.
gotta have my community of women.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta have it. It's important to me. And God
Mm-hmm.
showed that through his son Jesus. Boss Up Your Faith
Yes.
presents the Unapologetically
Unapologetically
Me
Me podcast.
podcast. And we apologize for nothing we said today. Okay? Who's gonna start the first song? Who's gonna start the first song?
There you is retarded.
Catch y'all next time. Hope y'all enjoy our first episode. Bye.
Peace.